Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Janakalyane Niratam Karunamayam. Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punaha Shrutismriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Pad Shankaram Lokashankaram. Yesterday we saw the difficulties in various other yogas, upasana, japa. All these sadhanas are having many rules to be followed. They are attached to the sadhana. And all these sadhanas give us adrushta palam. Adrushta palam means what? Now you have practiced. The palam is given sometime in future. Maybe after your death, or maybe after some years, Ishvara will give you the fruit. So presently it is adrushtam. The phalam is adrushtam, means it is not seen. And when you receive the phalam also, that adrushtam in future, you cannot correlate to which sadhana I have done, because of which, what is that because of which I received this gift today, the fruit today. What sadhana I would have done in the past. This knowledge we also will not be having, because we cannot, suppose suddenly you got some lottery. You say you are lucky. But there was some karma done by you. This karma phala lottery has got. So to which karma this is the result, you cannot know. So having received the phalam in future, you will not know what exactly was done in the past by you. You may not correlate. Right? And while doing of course, the sadhana, that time also you cannot know, because the phalam will come not immediate, it is adrushtam. But in the case of nididhyasana, Vedanta abhyasa, Brahma abhyasa, the phalam is immediate. The fruit is immediate. So example is given, like how to viparita bhavana. Viparita bhavana should go. Contrary perception should go away. How does it go? So examples are given. How does it go? Tat chintanam, tat katanam, anyonya, tat prabodhanam. Upayam. But beauty is in this sadhana, nididhyasana,
We keep Brahma, the mind on Brahman. That's it. We don't arrest the mind. That will come. All those thoughts will come later. We don't arrest the mind. We keep the mind always free. So, yena kena prakarena kshudham upanishate. Kshudham apaninishati. So, a hungry man gets food. When he is eating food, there are no rules and regulations because very hungry he is. His job is to satisfy his hunger. So, he eats food. So, therefore, similarly, in the case of, suppose food is not there, he will divert the mind here and there. Ultimately, to remove the hunger is the prime target. By whatever means it is available. So, in the case of Japam itself, what happens? Niyamena Japam Kurya. We should do practice, a lot of rules, etc. to be followed. So, if Niyamena Japam Kurya, Akruto Pratyavayataha. See, what is the problem? The Niyamen, one should practice with all the rules and regulations, Japa. If you are not done what you are supposed to do, Pratyavaya dosha will come. Sins of omission. Anyatha karane anarthaha. If you don't do you are done Japa, but you are not done in a prescribed manner, then it will lead to some other problems. Demerit you will gain. Anarthaha. Swara varna viparjayat. Because there is no many rules and regulations are there. Pitch is changed, tone is changed, pitch is intensity is changed. So many things are there. Swara in chanting mantras. So therefore, this erroneous conviction, viparita bhavana, is like satisfying our hunger by immediately taking food or any other means, but diverting the mind. We instantly hunger is addressed. It is not adrustam, it is drushtapalam. So what is upaya for viparita bhavana? Tat chintanam, tat kathanam, anyonyat prabodhanam. So what is nididhyasana? Nididhyasana is murti pratyaya santatyam anyan antaritam dhiyah dhyanam tatrati nirbandha manasascha chanchalatmanaha. So murti pratyaya santatyam, completely, constant thinking about the dhyaya vastu, not intercepted by any other thoughts. That's one condition. When that is both achieved, constantly thinking of Brahman, not cut, but the thought is not cut by any other thoughts. So through this method, by the fickle-mindedness of the mind is controlled. So far we have seen yesterday in 119th verse. So we should see today 120th verse. So in continuation of the thought, Vidyaranya Muni reminds us that how difficult it is to control. It is said you control, you generate similar thoughts towards Brahman, not intercepted by any other thought. Okay, the constant thinking of the Lord, the Brahman, not cut. That dhara, the continuity of the thought is not cut. It is not cut by any other thoughts. But then, is it easy to control the mind in that way? Okay, suggest the mind, oh mind, think about Brahman, think about Dhyaya Vastu, object of meditation. I have instructed my mind But my mind is fickle. So mind is runs away. Mind is running away here and there. So he's reminding. Vijayaranya Muni is reminding us in 120th sloka what Bhagavan Krishna has told with regards to the mind. What did he say? Chanchalam himana Krishna pramati balavadrudham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. So the mind control is not easy. Arjuna, when he was told by Bhagavan Krishna the dhyana yoga, the meditation, how to control the mind, asana, etc., etc. Krishna said a particular time in a beautiful asana, how to spread asana, how to sit, keep the head, the neck and spine erect. All those instructions I can follow. Thereafterwards, think about Brahman, mind cannot will not cooperate. So up to physical, all posture, up to posture, I will do. But later on, why? The moment you try to control the mind, mind runs away. It runs away. So Bhagavan Krishna when told to Arjuna, then Arjuna was asking, it is not a something object or anything I can control by force. So it says Manaha is Chanchalam. Chanchalam means what? Restless. Restless. It cannot stick to any particular field, a particular thought. It keeps on jumping. One completely restless like monkey. So the mind nature is restless. So you cannot control the mind. Number one. Pramathi. Pramathi means turbulent. The turbulence of the mind is so high that we are swept across by turbulence, displaced immediately from the point object of contemplation. Pramathi. Balavat, very strong. It is not lean and very weak where you can easily control it. Balavat. Drudam, unyielding. Very firm. It won't, mind won't compromise. Unyielding. It doesn't want us to intervene and give instructions. Such a mind we have to control. So Bhagavan or Vijayaranya Muni reminding us that this is the nature of the mind. So this such a fickle nature, the nature of mind we have to control. So there's only one way to control the mind. There is no other way. In Jnana Yoga, because you have developed Viveka Shakti through Jnanam, power of discrimination. Listen very carefully. Then I am convinced of ephemeral nature of this world, worldly joys. Therefore, nothing inspires me of this world. Therefore, I am not disturbed by the world. Right. But how did I achieve all these things? Because of discrimination, all that, I developed tremendous love, tremendous focus, not love here in Jnana Yoga, tremendous focus on the self. Knowing the self, recognizing the self is a final step to solve all the problems of samsara. So Jnani is convinced. When the Jnani is firmly convinced that his mind, when nothing in this world can really give him joy, then mind doesn't wander anywhere. Mind knows there is no joy there. And in that condition, when the mind is not running away, this person has started meditating on Brahman, Nididhyasanam. And mind becomes extremely silent within. Because the mind is not inspired to go out because of your Viveka Shakti, understood, convinced. The mind also got convinced. So mind is fixed for the goal. So in Jnana Yoga, because of Viveka Shakti, you develop Vairagya. And because of that, mind has become calm and quiet. That's the way of Jnana. In a Bhakti Yoga, what he does, Bhakti Yoga Bhakta, he says, he is extremely inspired by the Lord. He loves God. Why does he love God? When I know a person who is extremely caring me and he loves me and taking care of me, then I reciprocate that love. And Bhakta knew this entire world is his Leela, sport. And therefore, more I hear as a devotee the glories of the Lord, which is said in, because I am not inspired by jnana, discrimination and all, but I am inspired by the glory of the Lord. A lot of stories, sports, inspire. Bhagavatam, Ramayanam you read, or Bhagavatam, or great Puranas, many Puranas are there. The sports of Bhagavan, the Leela of Bhagavan. When you read that, when you wrote Mahimanam, the greatness of the God, if you know, then naturally our ego becomes humble and dedicates to the goal, to the person, to the God. Once I know that He is the only doing everything, that the world is nothing but real, the entire world is in the control of the Lord, and Lord is all pervading, Lord is great, Lord is really love, and I love Him. His glories are so great. Therefore, I develop a tremendous love for the Lord. The mind fixes things. Then there is no more change. So, through bhakti, through jnana, we can control the mind. Thereafterwards, because there's no suppression there. You are taught the mind various lessons on the world, the life. Mind is shown the way. Mind becomes calm. If you don't know the goal, if you don't love the goal, if you also do not have the knowledge of the stories of the Lord to get inspired through devotion, then I cannot control the mind. Okay? Now, in Yoga Vasishta, he says, Apyabdhipanan mahataha sumerunmoolanadapi apivahnayashnayat sadho vishamaschitta nigraha. Apivahana yashanat sadho vishamaschitta nigraha. 3 examples are given by Vasishta Maharishi, saying that how difficult it is to control the mind. I told you just how to control the mind. The technique is either love through bhakti. After knowing the greatness of the Lord, our heart melts. Or through discrimination, understanding that the world is illusion. No joy is permanent. The mind becomes controlled. It won't go anywhere. Well trained. Mind just calm and quiet. If you use the mind, mind works. Otherwise, mind is there at your disposal. Here is 3 examples. Abdhipanat mahatah. Abdhi means ocean. Pana, drinking. It is more difficult than drinking the entire ocean. You may drink the entire ocean. Maybe it becomes easier for you. But greater than that is mind control. Chitta nigraha vishamaha. Vishamaha is most difficult it is. So more difficult than drinking the ocean of water. Sumerunmoolanadapi. Or you try to uproot the Sumeru Parvata. Sumeru Parvata may be uprooted, but more difficult than that is the control of mind. Apivahan yashanat sadho. Ashanat. Vahni ashanat. Even it is more difficult than eating fire. So you can drink the ocean, you can eat the fire, you can uproot the Sumera Parvata. That all may be easier to do, but more difficult thing to do is controlling the mind. See? So controlling the mind is the most difficult thing to do, but very easy thing to do. Either you develop devotion towards Lord or understand through Vedanta Chintana that everything is mithya, therefore there is no joy in the world outside. Where can mind can run? The mind becomes calm. Think. So some yogis can drink the fire. Agastya Rishi, as he drank the ocean also. That extraordinary feats. Agastya Rishi, I am not talking that he has not controlled his mind. He is great Maharshi. Even that kind of a thing also may be possible to do by yogis. But more difficult than is to control the mind. Kathanadau na nirbandha srunkala baddha dehavat kintvanante tihasadhyaihi vinodo natyavadhyah kathanadau na nirbandha srunkala baddha hetuvat baddha dehavat srunkala baddha dehavat. Very beautiful thing. Now, in the Vidyaranya Muni is comparing now the Brahmabhyasa. What is Brahmabhyasa? Katana, tat katanam, tat chintanam, tat anyonya tat prabodhanam. Thinking about that, talking about that, mutually discussing about that, lecturing about that. Beautiful. So Brahmabhyasa is this way, Nididhyasanam. Compared to that is what? Other one is what? Japa, tapa, etc. So what is the difference between this kind of sadhana and that kind of sadhana? The mind is arrested. In other sadhanas, mind is arrested. So there is uneasiness, there is a pain, there is a pressure, there is anxiety. You are pushing. Mind wants to go, and then you are pushing the mind, controlling the mind. So some people wanted that kind of a joy, that kind of achievement to do it. That's not possible. Ashtanga yoga, somebody wants to practice. Yeah, for those it becomes easy or they want it, they can practice such practices also, no problem. But fundamental difference between Brahmabhyasa and other yogas, yoga sadhanas, japa, etc. Here is fundamental difference. So mind is not chained, arrested. Now mind is not chained. Srunkala baddhavat. Something is bound by a chain. The mind is not chained by an iron chain or whatever it is. So mind is not chained by an iron chain or something. Not chained. Where in Brahmabhyasa? Where Kathanado Brahmabhyas. Brahma Kathanado, Kathanam is discussing about the stories, talking about it, contemplating on stories of the Lord. So you can happily allow the mind to wander. Freedom is there. But what is the field at which is wandering? Or Brahmabhyasa only. Either studying, or listening, or talking, or discussing, or writing, or something seeing. So in a way, entertainment is going on. Mind is entertained. So there is no frustration. You can jump from one theme to one particular method of Nididhyasana to other method 2 Nididhyasana, method 3 Nididhyasana. You can do that. So the beauty is Brahmabhyasa. The intellect is entertained by ancient historical themes. Natyavat dhiyaha. Like dhiya means intellect. Natyavat means it's like entertainment. Kintu ananta itihasadyehi vinodaha. Many endless stories of the Lord in Upanishad, in Puranas and itihasas. So ananta itihasadyehi vinodaha. So mind is happy, entertained, studying Bhagavan's stories. Very beautiful. Mind is always remembering the God only. But mind is not arrested. There is no suppression of thoughts and all. Mind is happily going. But confined to the spiritual thinking, spiritual area. So upasana difficulties are told, where the mind is bound by, like mind, like as it were chained by mind is chained, and mind is not free. Mind cannot go. Mind cannot think. So strictly it is required to focus, follow practices. In the practices you should not do. So if you don't do regularly, no effect. To stop Pratyavaya dosha, so many problems will come. Okay? So in 122nd. So now, what is the purpose now? Why? Because in Purana stories and studies, listening to kathas, mind is happily exposed to all kinds of literature. It's a vinod, entertainment, but remembering Brahman all the time. It's not in frustrated condition. Its actual mind is dissolving. You are not congealing the mind. You are relieving. And the theme is Brahman alone. Because everywhere it is that only told. So, Chidevatma Jagan Mityeti Atra Paryavasanataha Nididhyasana Vikshepo Netihasadibhir Bhavet. See, Chideva Atma Jagan Mithya iti Atra Paryavasanataha. Atra means in the study of Puranas, in the study of Itihasas. What is the conclusive thought in Puranas and Itihasas? If you study in the Puranas and Itihasas, the conclusion is what? Brahman is Chideva Atma. Atma is consciousness. That is alone with the conclusion. Jagan Mithya. Puranas also speak about Jagan Mithya only. Not through hair-splitting arguments and logic and reasoning, but through stories, through sports, through leelas of the Lord. So that is the Paryavasanatha, means the conclusion arrived at in Puranas and Itihasas is that the pure consciousness is Atma and the world is Mithya. This loki also, Vede Ramayane Chaiva Purane Bharate Tatha Adavante Cha Madhye Cha Arhi Sarvatra Giyate. What is that? Vede in the Vedas, Ramayane in the Ramayana, Purane, Puranas, in the Puranas, Bharate, in Mahabharata, etc. In all these textbooks, Adau, Antecha, Madhyecha. In the beginning, in the end, and in the middle. What is it we want to study? What is it is explained there? Adau, Madhyama, and Madhya, and Antecha. Arihi Sarvatra Giyate. So, Arihi Sarvatra Giyate. The Lord alone, the glories of the Lord alone are sung everywhere. So, there is a fundamental difference between all other sadhanas. Mind is rigid. Vijjarani Muni says, don't have to arrest the mind as if it is chained, but keep the theme of Brahman always through either stories or discussion or talking or sharing or reading. The theme is Brahman. That's it. When we know that theme is Brahman, mind is always thinking about Brahman, great, tremendous nididhyasana is going on. So Vijayamuni is warning us. In other occupations, if your mind is occupied in other things, there the Brahmabhyasa cannot be continued. Mind is not dwelling on Brahman. Other things. It is difficult also. Where Krushi Vanijya Sevadau Kavya Tarkadikeshu cha Vikshipyate Pravruttadhi Taistatva Smrutya Sambhavat. Krushi, agriculture. Vanijya, commerce, trade. Sevadau, in the service of others, etc. Kavya Tarkadikeshu cha. Kavya, various kavyas are there. Tarkadi. Kavya Tarkadi means so many kavyas, literature, religious literature, not spiritual, unspiritual literature. So in all these practices, in all this whatever business we told, Vikshipyate Pravuttaha Dhihi. Dhi Pravutta Vikshipyate. There the intellect, the mind is actually not able to dwell, it is scattered. Vikshipyate Pravruttaha Dhihi. That those functions is difficult. Therefore, therefore, what did the Rishi Parampara, Rishis have given us? Okay, at one stage you need to work hard, do it karma yoga without any palapeksha, exhaust them. Then at the evening of your life, after 60 or 70 or 60, become the sannyasi or vanaprastha, then sannyasi, exclusively you can do Brahma Abhyasa. Then you have fulfilled your duties, responsibilities. But then very clearly says, when one is really constantly thinking about this Vanijya, agriculture, working in all these areas, Kavya Tarkadikeshu cha Pravruttaha Vikshipyate. Mind is scattered. Mind gets scattered. We cannot stop it if you are doing it. That's why you can take name of the Lord. A link that you are working is so many people are benefited, so many people eat food. Okay. Anusandadathaivaatra bhojanadau pravartitam pravartitum शक्यते विक्षेपा भावादाशु पुनः स्मृतेः. तो विक्षेप अभावात् आशु पुनः स्मृतेः. Now, अनुसंदधत eva atra. Therefore, one should only engage oneself in the Brahmachintan, keeping the mind on Satyam, the reality. So, anusandhata eva atra bhojanado pravartitam. Anusandhata eva atra. Very good. Anusandhanam, anusandhata. But what is happening when we are keeping the mind on truth? Bhojanado pravartitam. And in case of bhojana, etc., smaller activities of life, this is possibility to keep the mind on Brahman. I'm just checking some printing error in my sloka chanting. I'm seeing it. Okay. So, anusandhata eva atra bhojanado pravartitam shakyate. That's it. The anusandhanam is possible in activities such as taking food, etc. So, when you take bhojana, it doesn't disrupt. Such an activities are there, they don't disrupt our mind from thinking about Brahman. While by eating food also, you can think about Brahman. Such activities do not disturb. But excessively involvement in commerce, trade, business, excessively profit orientation, so many other, totally engaged in that, then there you are actually away. Nididhyasana is not possible. So, anusandhata taivatra bhojanado pravartitam shakyate tyanta vikshepa abhavad ashu punasprute. Shakyate here, bhojanado shakyate, which one? Anusandhanam is possible. Atyanta vikshepa abhavad. In these works activities, there is an absence of extreme disturbances of the mind. Mind is not extremely disturbed in these activities compared to Krushi, Vanijya, etc. Slight disturbance is required to complete the action. So, vikshepa bhavat ashut punaspritehe. Therefore, it is easy to remember the God easily while performing these activities. Mind has not gone away from truth. Even if it has gone away from truth for 1 second, 1 minute, half a minute, it will come back to you. You will not forget. Okay. So, here, tattva vismrti matranarthak kintu viparyayat viparyetum na kalosti jhatit smaradhak kvachit. Now, tattva vismrti matrat na anarthaha. Very important point here. Mere forgetfulness of the Brahman is not the cause of the problem. Tattva vismrti matrat na anarthaha. Okay, while in those activities, sometimes I forgot about Brahman. Doesn't matter, there is no harm. I just forgot for some time about Brahman. Okay, not going to harm. Kintu viparyayat. But viparya is erroneous notion, erroneous conviction. Viparyaya. But viparyaya, what is that? Is dangerous, unhealthy. It spoils entire personality of ours. Viparyaya. So it leads to disastrous results. Viparyaya. So viparyayat anartha sambhavati. Anarthani sambhavanti. Viparyayat. Because of contrary perception, there are many troubles can be created, caused. Tattva vismriti matrat, but only I forgot the remembrance of the God of Brahman for some time, there is no problem. Viparyetum na kalaha asti. No, when is the viparyaya? When is that viparyaya contrary perception goes away? When a contrary perception is created. Sorry. Viparyaya bhavana means what? Thinking a vastu, not recognizing it as something else. Contrary perception. Body is unreal but appearing as real for us. Viparyaya bhavana. I am not the body, but I feel I am the body. Atma is all pervading, but I think that it is not at all there. So viparyetam na kalaha asti. This viparyaya, any time it can be created. But in split second, I can identify with myself, forgot the knowledge of the Brahman. Then I give some status of reality to some experience. Then I quarrel. Then I shout, create a ruckus there in the street. For no reason. I forgot. For a moment, I forgot all Vedanta. But jatite smarataha kvachit. Jatite smarataha means the one who remembers hardly. There is a one who remembers immediately. Jatiti, like quickly remembers, comes back. When viparaya taken place, oh, something I am missing my point. He is aware. Immediately brought the mind back and remembered in Brahman. And established the mind in Brahman. That moment. Jatiti. Smarataha. Kvachit means what? There is no possibility or hardly any possibility of viparjaya bhava. No problem. So, the one who remembers immediately comes back. So, there is no problem in forgetting the Brahman. But forget the Brahman and the contrary perception takes place immediately, then that is a problem. Hesitations continue. Forgot the Brahman, viparyaya is not taken place, I am saved. I can come back, recall to the state of my knowledge immediately and establish myself again in the truth. Okay. I think I'll stop here. We will continue from 127 tomorrow. So very beautiful slokas are here today. Many points are told. I think this is enough for today because Vijay will continue this topic for some more time. Tattva visprutehe avasaro nasti anabhyasa shalina. All that things we'll see tomorrow. Okay. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you all. Hari Om.